It's now time for something a little bit different, something a little bit odd, and in this instance, something a little, well, little. It's time for Polyhedron Collider Off Topic. It's time for Ramshackle with me, Rory Summers, and him, Sid Gill.
Hello!
Hello, sir. It's just the two of us tonight because we've decided to upheave the mini collider, as we like to call it, and we're going to shunt it into a Ramshackle episode now.
Does that mean we've got no parental supervision?
No parental supervision.
We are qualified to be parents.
We are, bizarrely, yeah, we are qualified to be parents. We're allowed to be parents.
That's a good thing. We're going to talk about kids' games then, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and we're going to talk about kids' games. We're going to be talking about some of the kids' games we've been enjoying with our little ones, both separately and together.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, of course we've, yeah. And we're just going to tell you about some of the great kids' games that we've been playing. And I think all of these have come out this year. We got these all at the Expo, didn't we?
I think most of them have been Expo this year, for sure. We definitely played them all at Expo this year.
Yes. So we're going to dive right in. This is going to be a short, sweet, and simple episode. And one that maybe you want to even share with your little ones, because we're not going to have any naughty or rude words in it at all.
Yeah, because we don't have the man with the horn.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
No, it's because we're stand-up parents, and that kind of language would be inappropriate in front of young children. Why are you looking at me like that?
I've got nothing to say to that. Nothing to say to that, Mr. Gill.
Should we move on? I think we should move on.
Moving on. Let's dive straight in. We've got no segues, no order. We've put them in order that we want to talk about them. So we're going to start with Spy Guy Fantasy from Trefel Games. And we picked this up. This is distributed by Hachette Games. So it was at the Hachette stand at the UK Games Expo. And you may have seen it because they had a giant, 12-foot version of this.
On the floor. It was huge.
Yeah. And it was a really captivating game. It looked brilliant there.
Oh, it's beautiful. The colour, it's one of these games that you see on a table and it looks like a really exciting kids game. And not only does it look exciting, in this case, it delivers that excitement too.
It does. And it does it with a lot of tension. It builds tension in this game, really simply. So, really simply put, this is like one of those, I've got one on my phone, Marley, my daughter, loves it, of those Find the Cat game. It's like, Where's Wally?
Where's Wally, yeah.
Where's Wally? But it's different. So we've got this giant, you put together this board, which in 6 segments, and at the UK Games Expo was 12-foot long. And it's got loads of fantasy pictures, loads of fantasy things going on in this really cutesy artwork style. So you've got centaurs and elves and wizards and hats and griffins and there's no dragons. It's like a scene, isn't there? There's lava in a dungeon, and then it turns into the
It's like a trip to a dragon's lair kind of thing. And you leave your nice castle with the wizards and things like that, and you're robbing the dragon, for want of a better description. You're going to rob the dragon, and and the whole map is just covered with little pictures and artifacts, and then you slowly start realizing that just like a Where's Wally picture, there's groups of items is distributed across the board.
They all mean something.
Yeah, there'll be a goblet just lying next to the river or something like that, and then somewhere else on the board there'd be another goblet, but this time it's on a shelf.
Or it's in someone's hand.
Yeah,
and a lot of them have some sort of context to being there.
And so what I like about this though is they take the Where's Wally concept of just trying to find the random items in the scene,
or the random person in a Where's
or the random
Wally.
person. Yeah, well, Where's Wally, you always get other crap to look at. In Where's Wally, you always get other stuff to look for as well.
To be honest, I haven't played a Where's Wally.
You look for Wally himself, right? But then there's always find the 4 giraffes, or the 6 flamingos, or the 2 hats, or something like that. So it's kind of like that. But what they've done is they've gamified it, and they've gamified it beautifully.
Yeah. it's just a simple deck of cards.
Simple deck of cards.
A big deck of cards, really.
Yeah,
and you flip one over, and you've got to find arrows. And you've got to find there are 8 arrows to find, and that's it. And then you flip the timer, and you've got 1 minute to find all 8.
So or as many as you can.
Or as many as you can.
That's the clever. What do we call it? The USP of this game is the number of things that you can find on the board of the thing you're supposed to find equals the number of moves your little manny makes towards the dragon's treasure.
Yeah, and to use kind of like corporate language here, we're going to fail forwards, Sid.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't actually get it wrong here. If you only find one arrow, and you move 1 space. You find all 8, you move 8 spaces, and you move your little wizard along the track. And up until this treasure's stolen, the dragon's only going to move 1 space. He's going to slowly creep out of his cave because he can smell you coming. But then once the treasure is stolen and you're trying to return it back to the castle, the dragon gets a little bit faster. So you need to get that treasure as soon as possible. So it has this lovely collaborative experience. You go, I'm going to look at this part of the board, and you look at that part of the board, and you look at this middle bit here, and we'll find. And you just put these little magnifying glasses down. And you do, and you just race. And of course, the dragon will move. It's a random amount, so he might move 3, 5, 6 spaces. But the dragon can take shortcuts while you're in his lair, in his neighbourhood. And if he catches you, it's game over. And if it's game over, that's okay. You shuffle the deck of cards, you reset, and you go again.
It's an amazing little game. It packs a lot of punch on it. And what I stood back at one point, and we were just watching the kids play. And, they had a minute, 2 minutes worth of teach given to them, and they were away. They were playing it. They were happy. They were working with each other. They're forming little search parties.
Little search parties. That's exactly. They were forming search parties.
Yeah.
And there was so much excitement about playing this game. And I've brought this home, and I've had the exact same experience around a coffee table as I did on that 12-foot version. And it's brilliant. I play this with my 3-year-old nephew as well. It comes around, and we don't use the timer because it's just unfair to him. But he loves just searching for all the things and just doing it, and it's great fun.
Putting down the little magnifying glasses. It's all really tactile.
That's it. It's tactile, exciting, it's fun, and it's dramatic as well. And it's really easy to reset, and it's a nice boredom buster. Because every game you play is going to be different. Yeah. And even if you were able to memorise where all 8 arrows were, you're probably not going to get arrows again in the second or the third game that you're going to play, because that deck is quite significant.
Yeah, it changes loads. Yeah. Did you know that this is just one in a range of Spy Guy games?
I only found this out when I was trying to find out the name of the publisher. So I typed it into BGG, and it came up with loads of different ones because it's a French company, and there's actually an app, so you can get the app that supports this. That you can play a digital version of it as well for free.
Can you?
And it actually, apparently. And Spy Guy Fantasy isn't on the app yet, but the idea is it will actually play music and count down the 1 minute, so you don't have to use the timer. Because of course, when you've got eyes down looking at this board, you're not looking at the timer. And that's the one irk I have with it, is that you can't be concentrating on these 2 very different things at the same time. So you hit play, you've got it. There's 1 minute of fantasy music, in theory, child-friendly fantasy music, and then there'll be like a noise to say it's time up.
That's a genius idea.
Yeah, brilliant.
But there are some others. There's like a space one, like an Indiana Jones Explorer one. I think there's even like an undercover detective-y one or something like that. It's a really nice little range of games.
And I will say, for the geeky parents that play this, there's loads, and I mean loads, of subtle little nods to fantasy books, fantasy movies.
Yeah.
Right, you will see references to all those movies, all of those classic books are somewhere hidden in these images. So it makes it really fun for an adult, I think, to go, oh, that's from Terry Pratchett, and that's from Game of Thrones, and that's from the Belgariath. That one, it's really good.
I like when they drop little Easter eggs like that into a game. It's like when you're watching kids' TV shows and there's always a little bit in it for the mums and dads.
Yes,
I like shows like that,
and this game is full of that.
Yeah,
but it's brilliant. So that was Spy Guy Fantasy from Trafel, which as I say, it's distributed by Hachette, so should be widely available throughout the UK easily.
A belter, worth getting hold of. There's another game that we should talk about that we all played at UK Game Expo, which was a surprise.
It was a surprise.
It was a surprise because it was just a random pick off the Imagination Gaming kids library.
Open gaming area. Yeah, it's exactly that. So this is Under the Mango Tree from Pegasus Spiel. So I wasn't really aware of this. I didn't really get much information about what Pegasus Spiel were bringing to the expo before turning up myself. But this was on the Sunday afternoon. Sid and I were both there in our parental duties with our kids. And you had some friends and their son.
Yeah, we had a couple of extra hangers on.
Yeah, so and we were just knackered on Sunday, and we just wanted to go sit down. And the kids were knackered as well. They just needed to have that sit down. So we went to the Imagination Gaming section and go and get a game, any game. So I went to the table, was like, this one. It's got animals on it. It's got beautiful artwork. It's by Pegasus Spiel. Done. Let's go take this back. Popped it open. The rule book, couple of pages, like 3 pages in. That's it. Done. I've got all the rules in my head. Did the teach set it up to these 4 kids. And this is a drafting game. This is a drafting game and with a tableau builder aspect. So you've got these very narrow, like almost matchstick style cards, which have split top and bottom. So you might have a fish on the bottom and you might have some bees on the top, and you decide which one you're going to use and you put it face down in front of you. And then once everybody's done that, you flip the card over, and whichever section you've decided to activate, that's the bit, and you put it into your tableau. So bees go in the swarm, fish go in the water, bins go in the bin section, lorikeets and mangoes go in the tree. And then you've got the animals. You've got they're all herbivores, I think, but they just go in another section of your board, and you're just matching them and trying to get sets. It's essentially a set collection.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're going to score points for different varieties of fish. You'll score points if you've got a breeding pair of animals or a trip of animals. So 2 echidnas is worth some points, 3 echidnas is worth more. Your bees swarm, you'll score compared to your players on your left and your right. And your mangoes and your lorikeets, you times 1 by the other, and that gives you some points. Really simple. It's just basic maths, basic set collection, basic drafting game. Pick a card, hand the others over, and you keep going round. And this game just sung.
Oh God, when you opened that box up, I thought, oh, okay, bit underwhelmed. Bit underwhelmed. I'll be honest. I was tired.
You were in full grumpy Sid mode.
I was worn out, and this is day 3 at 3:30 in the afternoon or something. I was tired, and it came and hit the table. As you said, a couple of minutes to teach, and the kids were away. They were flying. So we didn't get any of the earache. We didn't get any hassle. They just got amongst it.
And they got absolutely involved in it as well. They were absolutely captivated by it. And they all had, marvellously, we played this. We had 3 8-year-olds and a 6-year-old playing this. And they all took a different strategy. And they all knew what their strategy was. They figured out what they were going to do. How am I going to get points? What am I going to do to keep them? What am I going to do to beat everybody else? They were hate drafting. I can't pass this fish on to so-and-so because they need this fish. No. So I'm going to have to use this card. They were doing that and making those choices. They were able to assess the pros and cons, do the basic arithmetic to go, which is the most valuable thing of these cards for me, and what's the worst thing to hand over to my opponents. And they made those assessments, and they all went through it. They played different strategies. And we had a winner, and then the other 3 players came joint second.
Yeah. Yeah,
But it was a tight competition as well, wasn't it?
And you said they all had different strategies. They all worked out that, somebody wanted to double down on bees, somebody wanted to get the animals and the multiples of the animals, and somebody was doing fish. It was a game that punched well above its weight.
Well above. I'd actually say, as much as it is a kid's game, it's a type of thing that I would quite happily play as just, it's an end of a night, a group, 3 or 4 adults, you'd blast through it in 15 minutes, tops.
Something like that.
But you'd enjoy those 15 minutes. It'd be like, let's just do this, because it's a really simple drafting set collection game.
Yep, agreed. Absolutely.
That's great. The thing I found really great about this, we had the expo, that was on the Sunday. So I have, as a single dad, I have my kids every other weekend. 2 weeks later, Logan, family's round, and Logan wants to play under the mango tree. And he asks my mum, who was there, says, "You're going to join us for a game of under the mango tree?" Mum was like, "I don't know." I mean, my mum struggles with Monopoly. She struggles with drafts.
Yeah.
Right. But Logan sat down and 2 weeks later was able to teach her all of the rules and then actually give her advice on her hand throughout the rest of the game about how she can score. So that's how accessible the rules system is. And that's just how engaging this game was. That it actually imprinted itself in his memory of an 8-year-old boy. It was brilliant. So chuffed with this. Like, Pegasus deserve a huge round of applause for producing this game. And if you only buy one kids game this year, I really would say it has to be Under the Mango Tree. It blew me away.
I think you'd struggle to find something better. I think it is a little sleeper of a game. It's just kind of quietly appeared, with no fanfare, and bloody hell does it deserve some fanfare.
It really does. It really does. You also picked up another game that actually did have a bit of fanfare before this, because this was actually quite this series of games. So this is the MicroMacro games. Now,
yes.
A lot of those, they've been around for a little while now.
They have.
And the adult versions have been very, very well received. And at the expo this year, Kids Crazy City Park was released. It was the debut, wasn't it?
It was, because and it was a big song and dance about at Expo, because obviously Hachette have now taken on distribution. So
yes,
there was a big wheel of joy to spin. But no, MicroMacro. So MicroMacro is it's basically another kind of hidden object kind of game. It's like so the adult one. Let's start with the adult one, and we'll come back to the kids one in a minute, because the kids one is clever, because there's a few takes us up a couple of mechanics from the adult one and just tinkers with them a bit. But the concept's the same. So what you get in the box is you get a massive, we were talking multiple A1 sheet sized map. Wow. It's like pencil drawing, kind of line art kind of drawing map. And it's another one of these kind of Where's Wally kind of maps, where there's lots of things happening and lots of scenes unfolding, and there's like shops and people buying burgers or hot dogs, and then there'll be like cars driving around and all sorts of things. It's just a really big map. But anyway, the whole concept of the game is, within all of this map is there are stories. So a lot of the art is connected. So you might see somebody that's gone, like a picture of a person, which is a guy with a hat on, say, who goes to, you'll see him in one scene, and then a little bit further around in that same area, you might see him standing at an ice cream van.
Yeah.
And then you might see him walking away from the ice cream van with an ice cream in his hand. And then a couple of steps further on, or a bit further down the page, you'll find that he's dropped his ice cream on the floor.
Right. So this isn't 4 instances of 4 people that look similar. This is actually the same character.
Same character.
And that's the narrative of what they're doing in this scene.
Yeah. It's like laying a story evolving in time, but on a single sheet of paper. Then intertwining 100, 200 other stories on top of that one story. And then kind of obfuscating that story within this much more complex world map kind of thing.
Cool.
And then what you do with MicroMacro and the variants there of it is you get a small stack of cards, which are like clue cards, or like there's an investigation. So the ice cream guy is a good one. guy drops his ice cream. Why did he drop his ice cream? Where did he get his ice cream? So, and what will happen is you'll have to work out like a crime has been committed. So, in the kids one, it's like the dinosaur's lost his bone or something like that.
Okay.
So it's like a little somebody's lost something. Somebody's dropped their teddy bear in the park or something like that.
So it's more like lost and found
stories
so rather than that a crime.
That's the difference between the adult one and the kids one. So the adult one's called Crime City or some variant thereof, whereas this is Crazy City Park. And so the themes have been changed. They're more suitable for kids.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of the game is basically to solve the crime or to solve the missing item.
The mystery, yeah.
Yeah, the mystery. And you get little cards that can say, look, this is what's happened. Can you find this person? And then it'll say, oh, why? And they'll all start at the end. So what's... Like the guy dropping his ice cream will start at the end, and there'll be a question like, well, where did he get his ice cream from? And you have to step back through...
And find where he got the ice cream from.
And stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then... But what they've done really quite cleverly, I think, with the kids version is they've made the cards. They've replaced the cards by little flip book, roller ring bound kind of flip book. So it's nice and tactile, really easy. It's really kind of obvious how you can go through the story. So you as an adult can help the kids through it, or if the kids are old enough, they can read it themselves and go through the little adventure. But what they've also done is they've given you little green discs, like acrylic see-through discs, transparent discs. So just like in Spy Guy Fantasy, when we were finding the arrows or the goblets, and we'd put the little eyeglass down on top of them, in MicroMacro Kids, you can put this little transparent green disc down so that the kids it helps the kids to remember
and
where they've already
found. Keep track of what's where. Okay.
And it's a really, really nice instantiation of MicroMacro Kids for kids who maybe parents don't want to introduce the more adult themes. They don't want to have to answer difficult questions that kids may have around what the crime or the mysteries that are in the adult one are, but giving them that same kind of dopamine hit when they find the character or they work out why that character is doing what they're doing, or find the bone for the dinosaur, or why did the man drop his hot dog, and it turns out because there's two kids in a bush that have scared him or something like that. And they're quite little funny little stories and little mysteries.
Okay, cool.
There. So it's it's really, really nice game. It's done by Edition Spielweiss, who do all of them, and now distributed by Hachette. And it is a fantastic little game. And it's another one of these ones, Rory, where you can pull it off a shelf later, like towards the end of the night. Yeah. You can play for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you're happy and you've enjoyed it. And you can pack it away and play something else.
Is there much to come back to it? If I played it, like I said, before bedtime on a Friday, and then could I come back to it on a Saturday? Could I come back to it and then play a different story?
So you got lots of stories. So you got maybe I don't know what the exact number is, but it's 10 or 15 different stories to play through, and each of them are progressively harder. So when they've got like a star rating, so you might have a 2-star, 3-star, 5-star, whatever it is, and each one gets progressively harder. And typically harder is they're more intricate or they're longer, and in the kids one, whereas the adult one they tend to be a bit more kind of across more of the map maybe. But the kids one does try and use as much of the map as it can as well. So you've got replayability. I mean, you haven't got infinite replayability, but it's one of these games.
Once you know the story, you're gonna. I suppose that is a problem compared to Spy Guy Fantasy. Spy Guy Fantasy is very random about what you're trying to find, whereas this time, because you're finding a story, naturally that story is more memorable than where are the 8 arrows.
I think it is. It's its only kind of weakness is it is really a play once. You as the adult might be able to play with both your kids separately, for example, or different groups of your kids' friends or something like that. But you're not really going to get Logan to come back and go, oh, let's go back to the start mystery and start again, because he's not going to find any joy in it.
No, but he's going to roughly remember everything. Oh, all right, okay.
Here's the kicker. So yes, you won't get more story fun out of it, but what you do have is the world's biggest colouring in picture.
Yeah. But I've also got, I think I've got the world's biggest collection of colouring in books left uncoloured.
Well, now you've got a poster to colour.
I've got a poster to do it as well.
But yes, I really enjoy it. I really like the MicroMacro games in general, and I think the kids one is really good introduction. If I'm being brutally honest, I think it will have a short lifetime, as we've just discussed, with the kids. But all that's going to do is, as long as parents are happy, or parents can moderate the theme even, is drag them into the bigger game, which is more interesting, harder, more complex, and you can weed out the ones with the
storylines you don't want to use. Yeah. But I suppose the fault that you're raising here is one that can be applied to the adult version of MicroMacro.
Oh yeah, I mean, fault's not even the right word. It's the nature of the game. It's a detective story. Yeah, basically, you can't play it more than once, and
no, you can't.
Why should you?
Exactly.
And to be fair, it demands a price point, which means you shouldn't expect to play it more than once. To be honest.
How much was this?
I think like 15, 20 quid.
Oh, that's nothing to be sniffed at, is it really? If that's going to help you get through, maybe not the summer holidays, but if that's going to help you get through a rainy weekend with bugger all to do, then that's something to do, isn't it?
20 to 25 quid basically in distribution.
Okay. Right.
So
that's all right.
So yeah, so MicroMacro, mate. Worth a shot.
Worth a shot. All right, well, the last game we're going to talk about is a little bit different in some ways, because we've got two games here about the searching and the finding, and then we've got this wonderful tableau building drafting game. But then Flow is another cooperative game, and this is based on the movie Flow, which was an Oscar-winning movie, I believe. And this is a co-op tile placement game, again from distributed by Hachette. We spent quite a bit of time at Hachette.
We spent a lot of time at Hachette, haven't we?
Because they're brilliant, to be honest. They do some great kids games.
I think they do some of the best kids games. And at Expo, their stand is so well set up for kids.
It's ideal for that type of thing. So this is published by Brain Games, distributed by Hachette, and it's Flow. So if you're not familiar with the movie, Flow is... It's not a silent movie per se. It's just there aren't any humans. There's no talking. There's no dialogue in it, because the whole movie, it's set in a post-apocalyptic world, where like only the animals seem to have survived. Humans have just disappeared. Humans were around, but the humans aren't there anymore. And the seas are rising. The seas are rising because it starts raining, and this little cat has to try and get off what's left of its island. And it gets into a boat, with a dog. And obviously they have a stressful relationship, and then somehow a lemur turns up in there, and then there's a secretary bird that turns up as well. And these four animals have to just survive on this boat, and they have to learn to steer it and all sorts. Obviously, it's an animated movie. It gets a little bit fun and twist stuff. Then there's like an alien whale that turns up. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's got this lovely soundtrack, and it's really dramatic how it tells this story without any dialogue, any words at all. Flow takes that, and you've got this board in front of you, and the idea is you've got four animals in each of the corner of the board, and you're laying tiles and trying to create a path for all four animals to get to the boat. Regardless of the player count, you're just trying to get animals to the boat. And the idea is you've got the stack of tiles, and you've got a 1 minute timer, and you just go. First player grabs a tile, looks at it, works out where they're going to place it. And there's cross junctions, there's straight, there's corners, there's blockages with rocks that cause obviously problems. And you've just got to put your tile down. Next player, go, 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 go. When your 1 minute runs out, and again, there's an app for this which has music from the movie and then the siren to say stop.
Awesome.
You then take 2 dice, and you roll these 2 dice. There's a black dice and a white dice. And you roll them, and the black dice will say, right, okay, row 3, everything that's in row 3 is just obliterated by the flood. And the white dice will be a 4, you go, everything in column 4 is obliterated, and you lose whatever tiles you've placed in those areas. And go, and you flip the timer and you just carry on going. And you can do some things. You can, if you don't want the tile, you go, right, I'm going to discard this tile. I'm going to pick up a power card. I've now got a power card, which is going to allow me to bend the rules slightly. And it is insanely stressful, this game. It's just ruined all of our work. We've finally got the dog this far, and you try and be clever and make sure that the dog and the cat, their paths kind of interconnect, because then you've only got to manage one route forward. And then this flood comes along, blots it all out. And it's fun because it's got that timer. That timer adds a sense of tension and drama, as it does to Spy Guy Fantasy. But it also keeps the game moving at pace, and the game's finished within kind of 7, 8, 10 minutes. You know, it's just done because that's perfect. How long you get. It's really, but I did find it. But you've got the base game, and then you can, if you want to, if you once you've done that, you go right. You can start introducing additional modules, which make the game even harder. And Logan and Marley refused to play with any of the modules because the game was already stressful enough. Like, you find when you get to that centre, we finally got them all to the boat, and they just go, oh, you can see them melt with relief because it's done, it's over.
But it sounds like because I've only seen this played, and the tension you're describing is. Do you think that is it the good kind of tension? It's not the tension that's causing the kids to get upset at it. It's is it kind of making them move along with the pace of the game?
A little bit, really. There are sometimes, Marley in particular, my 6-year-old daughter, she was getting a bit panicky and a bit worried because she would pick up a tile and she couldn't see anything obvious to do with it. And I think it was also quite hard for her because she was sat. It's one of those mistakes we made. We played it at the dining table. This is the type of thing that probably works better on a coffee table, so you can all more easily get over it. So she got really fixated on the cat is in her corner. She's just going to put this one tile down for her cat. Right, it got quite hard for her to switch and go, actually, no, I can also put this tile over here. I can also get rid of this to get a card. And then the cards and it's like having that memory. There's about 8 different cards.
Yeah.
What does this one do again? It's like, well, we're on a timer. We can't really pause it to read it all over again. So I think for the younger, Marley was finding A, quite stressful, and B, there was a lot of stuff to kind of keep in her head.
Yeah.
Whereas Logan was like, it's a bit older as an 8-year-old. He'd be like, right, I'm not going to take that card. I'm going to take a power card. This one does this. I remember what this one does, because they've kept it all language independent.
Right. Okay.
Which is good on one thing, but bad on the other. It was like, well, if you can't remember what the whale card does,
yeah, you got to look it up. And somebody got to tell you.
I got to look it up, and it's like I can't look it up now.
Yeah.
When do I do it? But I think that is a level of trying to keep the game accessible to the most amount of people. But it does mean that the younger players will find that bit a bit trickier.
Okay.
Logan and Marley really enjoyed it. They really enjoyed. We bought into it because of the film.
Yeah,
we took them to see this film, which it was one of those. We went to the cinema, saw that as a trailer, and my kids both love animals, and my daughter particularly loves cats. And Flo, the primary character in it, is a cat. She was like, "Oh, Papa, can we go see that?" Went and saw it. She loved, adored the movie, and then saw the game. I was like, "We've got to play it," and we did. We played it. We enjoyed it. Brought it home. Played it a few more times. They are really reluctant to add any more stress, though.
Yeah, but that could come with that. Just shows you that this game's got more to give, and then as time goes on, I think that's a good point. Older, and you'll be able to act. It'll keep giving a little bit more, a little bit of variety when they're ready, and it's nice that they don't have to have it all poured at them when they're not ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time you played an expansion for one of your games?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, expansions are supposed to sit on the shelf, right?
Exactly. Yeah, just left them and played in the box. I really enjoyed it. It does create a lot of tension. It does create a lot of stress. But like I say, it was the good kind of exciting. We've got to do this. Because of course, if you can build your path quickly to the boat, you don't roll the dice. So when you've got all of those pieces, so it does create that wonderful narrative and that trajectory of the tension increases, but as does your chance of winning. And, the flood coming along can be even more devastational later on.
Awesome. It's a beautiful looking game as well. When it's on the table, it does look just the way the choice of colors, which is mostly blue to reflect that kind of post, because it's like a water worldy kind of post.
It's a water world thing, isn't it? Yeah. And I mean, they've got the license, so they've got all the artwork from the movie, and the movie. I'm pretty sure the movie won an Oscar for presentation or art or something like that. But let's just assume it did.
Let's go with yes.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend. It's one of those movies. I think I said this to you, Sid. That when you have those nights where the kids are just a bit too G'd up because you've accidentally given them a bit too much sugar before bedtime. It's the type of movie you can go, let's just put this movie on and watch it, because it's got gentle music. It's got like gentle rain sounds.
Yeah, so it slows everything down, doesn't it?
And you've got cute animals doing stuff that's funny, and you can see the story that's happening. And it's not being shoved up. So if it's one of those, if you need to wind your kid down before bedtime, stick on Flow, and you'll enjoy it as well, because it's a beautiful presentation.
Excellent suggestions, Mr. Summers.
Oh, you're very welcome. But I think that is all we really had to talk about.
I think it is for now. For this episode of Ramshackle, at least.
For this episode of Ramshackle / Mini Collider, we do have some more games, kids' games, in the bank.
Yep.
And at some point, we need to talk about the Cosmos science kit.
Yes, we do. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't talk about science experiments. It'll just get us in trouble.
Yes, let's do that.
Well, that's for a future episode, so you have to watch future episode.
So we'll be back again soon with another Ramshackle Mini Collider. But until then, you can find Polyhedron Collider on all your social medias. We're on Board Game Geek 272. I don't even know the number.
That's because the gaffer does it. We should just get the gaffer to overdub this section.
Yeah. Shall I just? Well, you'll find us on Board Game Geek, and then just wait for Steve. Just put it in himself.
2726, I believe, Captain.
Oh, brilliant! Okay, so Polyhedron Collider. You can find us on all your socials. They've got the Discord server as well, and on Board Game Geek Guild 2726. But until next time, I've been Rory Summers. Bye bye.
I've been Sid Gill. Cheerio.